How do you feel about artificial sweeteners? I guess the first and probably most important thing to mention is that there are so many different types of low-calorie sweeteners. Some are technically considered natural, such as stevia, and others are considered artificial, such as sucralose and aspartame. The first thing that I'll mention off the bat is that oftentimes packets of artificial sweeteners still contain calories. For example, a packet of Splenda contains 3.3 calories, whereas a packet of sugar contains approximately 16. The reason why Splenda packets do contain calories is because there is maltodextrin and dextrose added into these packets, both of which have caloric values. The reason is because sucralose itself is approximately 600 times sweeter than sugar, meaning the amount of sucralose that you require to actually get you the desired taste is only about 1/100th of the Splenda packet, which is virtually unmeasurable. Therefore, they add maltodextrin and dextrose to provide volume and texture. With that out of the way, let's look at the effects of low and no calorie sweeteners compared to sugar-sweetened beverages for body weight and cardiometabolic risk factors. The use of low-calorie sweeteners is associated with improvements in body weight and decreases in cardiometabolic risk factors. But what happens when you compare them to water? Water and non-nutritive sweeteners are not identical when it comes to weight loss. In fact, non-nutritive sweetened beverages are superior for weight loss and weight maintenance compared to those consuming water. And this effect was actually validated again in 2023 using a year-long randomized control trial comparing non-nutritive sweeteners versus water, finding that the non-nutritive sweeteners improved weight loss and weight loss maintenance. So when it comes to weight loss, it appears that non-nutritive sweetened beverages are superior to sugar-sweetened beverages, and for some people are superior to water. However, this is when you are replacing sugar-sweetened beverages with either water or non-nutritive sweeteners. If you currently just drink water, there is no reason to replace it with non-nutritive sweeteners, as this may not actually provide you any value. But if you are looking to replace your sugar-sweetened beverages, a non-nutritive sweetened beverage may actually provide superior results than switching directly to water. With that being said, there are other things that people care about, including the risk of cancer, diabetes, dental caries, weight gain, and obesity. And in the grand scheme of things, there is no conclusive evidence for a beneficial or harmful effect for non-nutritive sweeteners. And now I know some people may mention the fact that the IARC recently classified aspartame as a Class 2B carcinogen. Other Class 2B carcinogens include coffee, pickled vegetables, talc-based body powder, carpentry, and aloe vera, as well as our cell phones. With that being said, this classification is below classifications for things like red meat and smoking, which are probably carcinogenic to humans, because this category means that they are possibly carcinogenic to humans. But there is very limited evidence in humans and animals, and there is very limited mechanistic evidence. Another thing is that this does not take into account the dose. This takes into account all exposure, including dietary and occupational exposure. And most of the studies indicating carcinogenicity inside of animals are using concentrations that humans simply would not be able to ingest. And the only data in humans is correlational. It may actually be an artifact of who consumes the most artificial sweetened beverages. People who are currently overweight and obese are the most likely to use these beverages in an attempt to lose weight. And being once or currently obese increases your risk of cancer. Therefore, these correlational studies may indicate that the population using these beverages are more unhealthy to start with. With that being said, it's also important to note that other governing bodies, including the JECFA, actually evaluated the same evidence and indicated there is no sufficient reason to change the previously established acceptable safe limits of aspartame intake per day, set at under 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, or between 9 and 14 cans of Diet Coke every single day. And the FDA also agrees with their position. The other thing we know is the following. Obesity is associated with the development of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, obstructive sleep apnea, and cancer. And just a modest weight loss of between 5 and 10% can significantly decrease the risk of these health-related outcomes. Therefore, in the grand scheme of things, if these artificial sweeteners are allowing you to lose body weight, as demonstrated in the first few studies, they are more than likely decreasing your risk of almost all health-related abnormalities. However, the very last thing I'll mention is that my favorite non-nutritive sweetener is allulose, as it appears to improve glucose tolerance and insulin sensitivity, as well as have appetite-suppressing effects. And there currently is not any evidence indicating negative effects of allulose, other than extreme intakes causing some degree of gastrointestinal discomfort. In the grand scheme of things, the use of artificial sweeteners is extremely individual and circumstance dependent. If you are using them successfully in the attempt to lose weight, they are more than likely going to improve the quality of your health. But there would be no reason to exchange your water for artificial sweeteners if it does not improve your weight loss outcomes. So their use is when assessing compared to what and in what circumstances. But there simply is not much, if any, human data indicating any possible side effects in doses that are relevant to humans. Data indicating benefits is also extremely limited, but there are more studies erring towards the side of beneficial compared to negative. With that being said, if you would like an individualized approach to your nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.